P-A-S-C-A-L. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good morning. Good afternoon and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in great spirits, because another day above the dirt is always a blessing. Let's not forget that, me dear. Let's not forget that, me dear. Yesterday may have been tough, but today is another day to be dope. So let's not forget all of that. Hopefully you guys are doing well. We got a lot going on today. So this is, like I said, this is going to be a multi-realmed show. Full on warning. We are going to be going into politics. We're going to be going into true crime. We're going to be going into so many different things, because there's so many things going on at the same damn time. We got ships being seized in the Middle East. We got Celeste Rivas' family holding a presser at some point this morning. And we got D4vd walking into his first court hearing, and we're gonna find out if any of these charges, if he's gonna be charged with anything. Let's just keep it a bean. So please do me a favor before we get into this situation. Please do me a solid. Hit that like button down below. Crush it, do what it do. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on these other platforms. If you are watching on these other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, Twitch, Kick. Come on, man. I'm on all of them, baby. Okay? So make sure you're hitting that follow button. Follow. Make sure you subscribe here on my YouTube channel. This main channel right here. Go to my second channel. It's called The Pascal Show Clips. You know what? It's called Pascal, The Pascal Show Clips. Make sure you go over there. You subscribe to that second channel, because there's a lot of things like today. There's going to be a lot of segments. We're going to be putting out some segments on that second channel. So if you do miss something, if you have to go take a poop, or you got to go and pick up the kids, or you got to go to work, and maybe you don't have time to scrub through an entire show to find out all the things that are going on, yeah, we've been cutting them out and putting them on a second channel called The Pascal Show Clips, at least the big headlining things, right? So make sure you're going over there. You subscribe, okay? Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell on both channels. Set it to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because it's random. And today is going to be a random day. I'm just going to be real. A lot of stuff to talk about. This is the reason why we do these big varietal shows, okay? Because there's so much going on in the world that we all give a damn about. So make sure you do that. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Please and thank you. Check it out. Support the channel if you can, okay? Check out my Patreon as well if you want to support even further. It's slowly at a snail crawl going across the screen right now as we speak. So go check it out. Patreon.com/The Pascal Show. And of course, you can also check out PascalMerch.com. Check that out. We got some really great stuff over there. I keep saying that to y'all, and y'all should already be savvy to that. We got dope-ass-ish over on PascalMerch.com. So go check it out. Dag nabbit. All right. Please do me that solid. Okay. Happy Monday, everybody. Happiest of Mondays. All right. It is Monday. It doesn't even feel, I'm going to be real. It doesn't even feel like it's a Monday right now. It feels like, I don't know. It feels like it should be like a Tuesday, right? Because we had a show yesterday. We have a lot going on today. And I mean, the wheels keep on turning, right? So we got a lot going on. Now, one thing is for sure. A lot of us are waiting for, at least myself, and I know this is the reason why a lot of y'all are here too, because D4vd is supposed to be making his appearance today, okay, in court, for the possible connection to unaliving Celeste Rivas Hernandez, 14-year-old girl that was found in pieces in the front trunk of his Tesla. Now, we've all been sitting here saying this has been taking way too long. All right. This is about damn time that this happened. OK, it's about doggone time that this whole thing happened. Him getting arrested, because it's been 9 months, something like that, 7 to 9 months. I got the numbers wrong. OK, but it's been a minute since we heard any updates revolving around Celeste Rivas and this case. We've all been side-eyeing D4vd like crazy, okay? We've been following D4vd like crazy. David, all right? He has a 4 in his name as an artist, and if you just read it out phonetically, it's D4vd. D4vd. Okay, I say D4vd. I need to turn that into a t-shirt. I'm being dead ass. Just D4vd, right? People are like, what's D4vd? It's like, or what's D4vd? You know what I mean? It's just an inside joke no one else would understand except those who watch the show. But nonetheless, there's a lot that's going on today. We have that. We're waiting to see if David D4vd is going to be charged with murder. We also have Celeste Rivas' family finally making an appearance. They are finally going to make some sort of public appearance, or at least do a public statement to the general public. That is actually happening today. What time that's happening, I have no idea. But we're going to look it up. We're going to try to find that and see what's going on. Hopefully very, very soon rather than later. You know, and in fact, in my mind, I'm thinking maybe they might not be on, like they won't do it until after the court hearing. That could be it too. Or they might do it right before the court hearing starts. So we'll see. We're keeping an eye on all of this because this is some crazy, crazy stuff. And again, like I said, if you don't know, if you're not fully savvy to what's going on, I mean, you got David and his crazy self recently getting arrested. Okay. He recently got arrested, and this all because of his possible involvement in the unaliving and dismemberment and the stashing away of the remains of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Just so you know. Okay? Pretty insane stuff. So we got to get into this. We got to get this conversation moving because there's a lot going on. Something else that's going on, just so you guys know, okay? Because we are still looking into the politics world. We are still having those conversations as well. One thing is for sure. We have Iranian vessels that are now been seized by the U.S. That's the other thing that's going on today, too. Oh, by the way, all the while, this is also happening while there's supposed to be peace talks today. I want to make that abundantly clear as well. Just so you know. Just so you know. America has now seized an Iranian vessel that was trying to get into the Strait of Hormuz to get goods and whatever. Now that has been seized at the same mother-loving time, at the same doggone time that we are supposed to be going into, or America or Trump is supposed to be going into peace talks with Iran today. Yeah. So that's actually happening right now as we speak. So are we going to be going into peace talks today? Because from what we heard and what we learned a little bit ago, Iran doesn't want to have anything to do with the likes of America right now. They don't want anything to do with the likes of peace talks right now as well, which is also absolutely insane. We got a lot to look at. We got a lot to break down. So let's get into some of this D4vd debacle and see what's really popping off here, okay?
Fallout continues for platinum-selling singer David, now in police custody, arrested yesterday by the LAPD in connection with a gruesome murder of a 14-year-old girl who went missing in 2024.
David's music label, Interscope Records, is already distancing themselves from the controversy. KTLA's Lindsay Pena is live in the Hollywood Hills, where the singer was arrested. Lindsay.
Yeah, Cher, Micah, the house where David was staying right before his arrest, relatively quiet today, and we're still not sure who might be inside. What we do know is that David is in custody, being held without bail until at least Monday. Singer David's arrest late Thursday afternoon captured by TMZ, the 21-year-old taken into custody at a home in the Hollywood Hills. The California Post also releasing this footage showing officers in tactical gear handcuffing David before putting him inside a patrol vehicle. The musician, whose full name is David Burke, has been on LAPD's radar as a suspect for months in the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas, whose decomposing body was found in the trunk of David's Tesla last September. Although an investigative grand jury was convened in the case late last year, it never returned an indictment. At this point, it's unclear what finally prompted his arrest on suspicion of murder. KTLA legal analyst Allison Treasel.
Just because he's been arrested on suspicion of murder does not mean that on Monday he will be charged with murder.
Now, that is very true. Let me just make this abundantly clear. We will not know what the outcome is going to be coming today. D4vd could actually walk. There is a strong possibility of that actually happening. But that is not entirely confirmed yet. We haven't seen anything yet, right? If he's going to walk. Here's the thing. I find it a little bit insane to me. To me, it would be a little bit insane for them to sit there and go, no, there's no way he can, he's going to walk. Let's start with number one. There is a dead body in the front trunk of his car of a person that he knew intimately. Let's just say that out loud. Let's get that out the way really quick. Let's say the quiet part or the loud part, really loud right now. Celeste Rivas Hernandez, who was at least close friends with David, is found gone in the front trunk of his car. That's it. That's it. Start right there. That's enough. In my personal opinion. Clearly, I'm not the courts. I'm not the judge. I'm not DA. I'm not prosecution. I'm not any of these things. But one thing that I find very strange is that they're not even leaning on that and saying, yes, that leads to, that's probable cause to give this man a charge. Now, I get it. Like I said, I'm just a guy with a microphone. I'm not a lawyer. I've never been a cop or anything like that. But one thing is for sure that really bothers and irks my soul is that this woman, this young girl, was found gone in his car. That's already probable cause right out the gate. And this man's been out here living the life like it's golden, when in actuality, he should have already been locked up a long time ago. And then maybe he's let go. Maybe he's let go later on because they find out there's no connection or something of that sort. But then we've never seen him get arrested or get touched for any of this. So again, miss me with the freaking nonsense, right? Let's continue though. Let's continue.
It means that he will either be brought to court and the district attorney will file charges at that point, or he will be released.
Rivas went missing from her Lake Elsinore home back in 2024. She allegedly met David on social media and, according to law enforcement sources, was in a romantic relationship with him. Treasel says what is clear is that investigators have spent months building their case, and Monday may be when we find out more about what evidence they have against David.
Including what type of forensic, digital, witness information, all of that should become more available to the public on Monday.
David's defense team releasing a statement maintaining their client is innocent, saying the singer hasn't been charged with any crime. Quote, the actual evidence in this case will show that David Burke did not murder Celeste Rivas Hernandez, and he was not the cause of her death. Despite no official charges being filed yet, David's label Interscope already wiping his page off their site.
I mean, do you blame them though? Do you blame them that they are trying to distance themselves from this person? This isn't a situation where it's just like, oh, you know, he just got he's a little freaky deaky. He just had these freak offs, and it's just, you know, he liked to cover all these people with baby oil and use a whole lot of Astroglide. Oh, no, just because he's just a freak, it's no big deal. Yeah, everybody a little freaky but behind the scenes. No, this dude is being looked at for muerte in the most gruesome way possible. Muerte of someone that is 14. 14 years old. Shimon, baby. No one finds that a little bit weird? Damn right. The record label's going to sit there and wipe him clean because they do not want to associate themselves with the likes of this. You already know what's going on how things are already being perceived with the entertainment industry in general. We already know how nasty and disturbing they are. We've been known about that, guys. And so of course they're trying to distance themselves from this crap. Come on.
Now, an attorney for Celeste Rivas' family telling us they plan to speak briefly on Monday after the DA makes their announcement.
So after they make their announcement today, you know, whether or not David is walking out free or if David's going to get hit with charges, okay? They're supposed to be making a statement, okay?
Issued a statement saying in part, quote, the family remembers Celeste as a daughter and sister whose loss has deeply affected those who knew and loved her. In learning of Burke's arrest, Celeste's father, Jesus Rivas, said, quote, thank God, justice for Celeste.
Yes. So, of course, Celeste's father is saying, Jesus, okay? He's finally, you know, so we're finally hearing something from the family. We're finally hearing something from the family, which is about doggone time. I will say that. It's about doggone time. But there is still a lot of weird things that are going on, a lot of weird things are going on. I'm going to keep it real, okay? Like this right here. During Coachella, apparently what was written in the sky is this: Celeste is a liar. A message written in the sky above Coachella. What? You don't find that a little weird, cabron? So while you are out here, people are out there having their fun, you know, tripping on peyote or whatever the hell they're doing, right? Flying into the center of the sun, all right? Someone took it upon themselves to pay a skywriter, okay, to have them put up this very cryptic message. And let me tell you something. Yes, there's plenty of Celestes in the world. Plenty of girls named Celeste. Plenty. But are you sure this is about another Celeste? Do you not find that a little weird? Is anyone looking at this and going, what? That's weird, right? Let's just take a look at this. A cryptic message potentially surrounding the recent arrest of singer D4vd was written in the sky above Coachella on Friday. Why would anyone go out of their way to write this? You see what I'm saying? Why would anybody put this up in the sky? And let me be real, all right? Sure, there's plenty of Celestes in the world, but this is a pretty significant name. You understand? This isn't like Jane is a liar. Susan is a liar. Johnny Boy is a liar. You see what I'm saying? Justin is a liar. Well, if they did Justin, everybody would be like, ooh, what's going on with baby? Was that Haley making that written up in the sky, right? No, they used Celeste's name. So what the F is going on? Did D4vd pay for this to be done? It just seems a little bit weird. And also, how can she be a liar if she's already dead? Now, I get it. They could be saying something cryptic, alluding to something that caused her to lose her life. That might be it, right? But at the same time, it is a little bit weird that somebody went out of their way to have skywriters fly above the festival's grounds and write Celeste is a liar around 4 p.m., according to a video obtained by KTLA. Many on social media were quick to speculate that the Celeste being referred to is Celeste Rivas Hernandez, of course, who we already know and care so much to find out what the F actually happened to her, because she passed away in a very mysterious way and was found in a very mysterious way in the front trunk, or other people say the frunk, of his D4vd's Tesla. All right? The Tesla, well, we already know. Okay, her body was recovered. And then, of course, that car was registered to David Anthony Burke, or David, or D4vd. All right? According to entertainment news outlet LA Lad Bible, or LAD Bible, I guess, other internet users posted or posited the message could have been a case of poorly timed promotion for the Netflix movie Roommates, which released Friday, and has a character named Celeste in it as well. Regardless, the meaning and origin of the message are unknown. It just seems a little bit weird. Like, did the skywriter run out of smoke? Think about that for a second. Did the skywriter run out of smoke? Maybe underneath it was supposed to be like, check out Roommates coming in July, or whatever the heck it's coming out now on Netflix, right? Like they could have easily said, you know what I mean? Like, did the dude run out of smoke to write in the sky? He's like, damn it, I guess we're just going to keep it with Celeste is a liar. Ain't that a little weird? And you know for a fact people are looking at that going, Celeste is a liar? What does that mean? Well, they're all tripping balls and pumping their fists listening to Bieber as he's hanging out like on stage playing YouTube videos and D's nuts memes and stuff like that. I'm being dead serious. Allegedly, that's what he's doing. He's up there chilling, scooping $10 million, hanging out on a stage, playing YouTube videos. That's what he was doing. I'm sorry. It's just the truth. It was weird. So you'd think, of all things right now, this is not the best timing if that is the case. Celeste is a liar, and that's all you put up? Like, it'd be different if it was like, get your ass to Mars. You're not going to sit there and go, oh, is that in connection to D4vd and Celeste's situation? Ooh, that's crazy. Get your ass to Mars, indeed. D4vd, no. It has no connection. So when you just do a random Celeste is a liar, who's going to look that up? Like, really, who's going to look that up going, ooh, I'm wondering if that has anything to do with this new TV show called Roommates on Netflix. What? No one's doing that. So did the skywriter just F up? He was too stoned too, that he just didn't realize that he was supposed to put underneath like dash Roommates, Netflix, or something like that? Either it's poorly timed in a coincidental muck up, or these people decided this is a perfect opportunity to put that up into the sky, because everybody and their mama was all obsessed with this D4vd situation, and they're going to start looking up Celeste is a liar, only for them to stumble upon this new Netflix movie called Roommates, which, by the way, is dumb. If that's the case, then that's really dumb. And if that's the case, then Netflix should be very, very ashamed of themselves, because they use this as an opportunity. If they really did use this as an opportunity, like, ooh, David got arrested, and her name is Celeste, let's use her name and put it up in the sky. Easy marketing, guerrilla marketing at its best, guys. You realize how dumb that is, right? That's a level of dumb like I've never seen before. That would be dumb. You realize nobody's going to be, people who are offended by this, if this is truly connected to this Netflix movie called Roommates. I have a feeling no one's going to want to watch it now, because they're going to be like, wow, you really were piggybacking off the Celeste Rivas Hernandez murder situation to get some free publicity. You realize how dumb that is, right? You realize how callous and how sick that potentially could be, right? If that was the case. Like I said, if and only if, because it may not be the case at all. They may have just been like, we just thought it was going to be okay. We didn't know. We didn't realize her name is Celeste too. When it's been a high profile case for freaking months, y'all. Several months. Man, so many theories, so many stories, so many conversations have been out here about this. And it would be very, very dumb. Very dumb if they tried to do something like that. Just saying that out loud. Like I said, a level of dumb of the likes you've never seen before. But we're going to continue on. We got more to talk about, baby. So, of course, we are still waiting for this to happen, this meeting. And even so, they are literally going to be speaking after D4vd's first court appearance. So that is a very, very big deal. Okay. And we're going to see if he's getting charges filed against him, criminal charges filed against him. So we will see what happens on in that front. There is something, though, that I need to talk about. You guys just talked about it in the chat. I did not realize. Hold on. I did not realize this until just this show. And I have to take just a brief moment to talk about this. And it's really heartbreaking to hear about this. But if you knew about Tony Matthysse, then you know about the Sebastian Rogers case. And we have talked about the Sebastian Rogers case quite a bit for a good long time. And, I'm still trying to figure out if this is entirely, it's very strange hearing about this information. And like I said, I'm still trying to get as much information as I can, because this is all still very brand new news to me, hearing this out loud or hearing this live. But if you don't know Tony Matthysse, then you don't know the Sebastian Rogers case. And if this is true, then consider myself absolutely shocked and very sad right now. Because as much as everybody has their opinions about, and they were calling him TikTok Tony and all this other crap, but we're not here to speak, I'm not here to speak ill of him at all, because that's not how I see him. That's not how I viewed Tony Matthysse. And if this is true, then I'm very shocked. Tony Matthysse has passed away. Now, I want to make this abundantly clear. This was somebody who was really trying to help, try to find Sebastian Rogers, became very good friends with Seth Rogers. They became very close, and they were trying to make something happen, trying to find Sebastian. And when I met him, when I met Tony, he was very passionate, very passionate about trying to find Sebastian, trying to bring order. Okay. And just trying to find Sebastian. At the end of the day, I think one thing that we all can agree on, we were all, doesn't matter if you agreed with how Tony Matthysse did things, how Seth Rogers did things, how the Proudfoots did things. It doesn't matter where you stood. At the end of the day, we were all on the same focus, all on the same goal, trying to find Sebastian Rogers. And some people did not like the way certain people handled the case going forward. And it is, like I said, it is what it is. I think there's no perfect way to handle these cases. They're all different. And everyone deals with this kind of traumatic situations differently. I have always appreciated and respected Tony for his time and for his passion behind trying to find Sebastian Rogers and trying to help Seth, because there weren't a whole lot of people going out of their way really trying to find Sebastian. I mean, don't get me wrong. After some time, because it's been a long time now since Sebastian went missing, I think there's been a lot of, like I said, he and Seth worked together. And I don't know, like I said, Nicole B., I have no idea how he passed away. I just found out about this live on the show with y'all. Okay. And no, he wasn't young. He wasn't old. You know what I'm saying? So that's why this is very shocking. Very, very shocking. But here it is. Oklahoma community mourns a life lost too soon. Tony Matthysse is gone. This is all new information to me. So Tony Matthysse Jr., from Grove, Oklahoma, sadly passed away, leaving behind a grieving family, friends, and a community deeply affected by his loss. It is with heavy hearts that the death of Tony Matthysse Jr. is announced. His passing has brought profound sorrow to those who knew him and loved him, as they reflect on a life that, though cut short, made a meaningful impact on many. He's remembered as a kind, genuine, and caring individual who valued his relationships and the people around him. Those closest to him described him as someone who carried a warm spirit, always willing to support others and bring comfort in times of need. Friends recall his positive presence and the way he connected with people through laughter, loyalty, and sincerity. Good God, I can't talk now. He built lasting friendships and created memories that will continue to be cherished by all who had the privilege of knowing him. And I'm going to be honest. I mean, one thing that is true, he was a very passionate individual. He wanted to try to find Sebastian Rogers. Tony, yes, I agree. Tony was one of those, especially even Seth Rogers, was trying to keep Sebastian's name out there, trying to keep his name alive out there in these streets, in the conversation. And now he's passed. I'm a bit shocked. I'm going to be real. I didn't know about this until just now. But may he rest in peace. And, my thoughts and prayers go out to his family, friends, and, even to Seth Rogers, because right now I'm sure they were working together for a good while. So this is a bit of a surprise. I'm going to be completely honest. A bit of a surprise in turn of events. So may he rest in peace. May he rest in peace. That's pretty crazy, guys. Very much unexpected. I will say that. But now, of course, we had to talk about it. Okay. But we have got to get back into the conversation. Okay. And of course, and I agree, Harley, we can't let Sebastian's name be forgotten. We try to bring him up. We try to talk about it as much as we can. Whenever there's new developing updates and all that. But yeah, this is very shocking information. Very, very shocking information. So may he rest in peace. Seriously. And if you can, please, and like I said, doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on. If you liked him or you hated him, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, what he was trying to do was try to find Sebastian. And that's one thing that we were all doing, right? For a good while. And a lot of people still to this day are still trying to keep Sebastian's name out there, still trying to keep Sebastian's case alive by bringing up the case and all that. So may you rest in peace. If you guys can put some green heart emojis in the chat, that'll be greatly, greatly appreciated. That is a huge shock, to be completely honest. A very, very big shock. May you rest in peace. But we're going to continue on, guys. I'm sorry. I hate to be like pivoting like that, but we gotta get back into the news. We got other things going on, but I do want to still show you guys this clip about this message, Celeste is a liar, being put up in the sky above Coachella.
6:02 this morning, a mysterious message appearing in the sky above Coachella this weekend, and the internet is buzzing with theories here this morning. Skywriters flew over the festival grounds around 4 p.m. Friday, spelling out 3 words, Celeste. Or 4 words, I should say. Celeste is a liar. Internet commenters connecting the name to Celeste Rivas Hernandez, the 14-year-old whose decomposed body was found in the trunk of a Tesla at a North Hollywood tow lot back in September of last year. That Tesla was registered to 21-year-old singer David, real name here, David Anthony Burke, who was arrested on Thursday on suspicion of her murder. Some suggesting that message may simply be a promotion for a new Netflix film with some bad timing, of course, here. The true meaning and origin remain unknown at this point.
I think it's a level, like, this is so dumb. Let me just say that. This is so freaking dumb. Period. So freaking dumb. If it's a timing situation, it is so dumb. And I don't think, and I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of people like, ew, I'm not supporting this movie. F that. Because of this situation. Because of the timing. Could be a completely innocent timing, or it could be really, really disturbing. But the timing itself is really bad. The timing itself, we can all agree with, is very, very bad. So yeah. The fact that that's even a conversation is absolutely insane to me. I think we can all agree on that. So let's take a look at this too. Charges expected to be filed against D4vd in teen's demise. So charges will be filed. Charges will be filed on Monday against pop singer D4vd in the demise of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, sources tell ABC News. LA County District Attorney Nathan Hochman will hold a press conference with the LAPD Chief McDonald at 10 a.m. So that is going to be about 2 hours from now. A little over 2 hours from now is when they're supposed to be doing their press conference. Because right now it is almost 11. Well, I guess an hour from now, right? Right? It's almost 11 my time right here. LA time, it would be 8:48 right now, right? So little over, about an hour and 10 minutes from now, okay? An hour and 10 minutes from now, there's supposed to be some sort of press conference with the LAPD Chief McDonald at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So an hour and 10 minutes from now, there will be some sort of press conference all discussing this particular case, which, by the way, is about freaking time. Thank God. Okay? It's about freaking time that we're going to finally see a press conference, them talking and discussing this case. This is the other thing, too. You'd hope that the likes of like Sheriff Nanos would do some sort of press conference at some point here soon, too, because there's been rumor of a suspect when talking about Nancy Guthrie. Okay? Sorry for the left turn, but this the truth. Okay? Allegedly, Nancy Guthrie, in the Nancy Guthrie case, a suspect has been detained, has been brought in for questioning. The only person that I've seen ever talk about that is Nancy Grace. And I don't know if Nancy Grace got some false reporting or if she's actually telling the truth. But nonetheless, they're saying someone actually was detained, brought in for questioning in connection to Nancy Guthrie as well. So again, you'd think at some point there'd be some sort of press conference in that regard as well, just so you know. So nice. It'd be nice to hear something about that, too, because from my understanding, from what I've gathered, have we not seen any type of presser revolving around Celeste Rivas' case? Because I don't remember seeing any press conferences done when it comes to Celeste Rivas, right? Interesting, right? So in about an hour, a little over an hour from now, we will be hearing from the LA County District's attorney and the LAPD, chief of the LAPD, in about an hour, okay? Give or take a few minutes, all right? So just so you know, a little over an hour from now, we will finally be hearing from 5-0. About damn time. And of course, Celeste's family is expected to make their first public statement through their attorney. But at least they're going to be saying something. But their attorney is going to be speaking on behalf, making a statement on behalf of Celeste Rivas Hernandez's family as well, outside of the courthouse after the press conference. So there will be a press conference in regards to whether or not D4vd is going to be locked away and getting hit with charges. Because right now he's locked up without any possibility of bail. He's got no bail because he's a flight risk like a mug. He's absolutely a flight risk. So again, will he get hit with charges today or not? That is the main thing. We already know his name is David Anthony Burke. That is his real name. That's his government name. His street name, his stage name is David D4vd. Okay? And we already know he's been arrested in connection to all of this. Sources told ABC News the arrest is based on evidence and probable cause that was developed and that it was not an indictment. Meantime, the medical examiner has ruled her passing as a homicide, okay? A Los Angeles criminal defense attorney who spoke with Eyewitness News said we can expect to see some fireworks in the case on Monday. Ooh, what kind of fireworks, right? They're going to be popping off Roman candles or something? And the major issue at the arraignment will be whether or not singer D4vd stays in custody. For now, he's being held without bail because he is a mother-loving flight risk. And my has American Idol morphed over time. Moving on. RJ Drelly says the prosecutor has two ways that can keep D4vd in custody: by filing charges that are DP eligible, wow, or by arguing for no bail, stating that their case is strong enough and David could be a safety or flight risk if released. Like I said, he is a safety and he's most definitely a flight risk. I'm sorry. I hate to say it to you guys, but he's a flight risk like a mother lover. Period. Also, I am worried about safety for any of these witnesses, any people that might be connected to the situation, because he could be out there trying his damnedest to intimidate any person out here that may know information. He's probably already been doing that over the past several months, because he's been out here living the life like it's golden. Living life. Playing Fortnite and being free. While this young girl is found in pieces in his car. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And in fact, there's something about this that also aggravates the hell out of me, and I'm just going to say it, okay? It's also how he's been acting. Because I'm going to be real. If I was alleged of like unaliving a friend of mine, and that person was found in my car in pieces, and I lived in LA, and my family lived in Texas, you know, like my mama and my dad and all that, I'd be staying with my mom and dad right now if they would let me. I'm not chilling in LA thinking that, well, I still need to make connections. Hell to the no. Who's going to want to make connections with you when they're side-eyeing the hell out of you for allegedly taking the life of a 14-year-old girl? Think about that for a second, y'all. Even how he's moving is strange. He was staying in, what's her name? Miss Congeniality girl with the nose and the chin. What's her name? Sarah, Susan, I forgot her name. Sandra. What's Sandra Bullock? There we go. Thank you. You know who I'm talking about. Shoot. Okay, he was chilling in Sandra Bullock's old crib. So clearly he's not really processing what's going on here. He's too busy trying to stay in LA to keep up with the Joneses, to keep up with the look. Man, I'd be home with my mom and my dad, and I'd be reading the Bible. You know what I'm saying? I'm not Fortniting. I'm not sitting there going like, I gotta make music because this is all in muse. This is all an inspiration to drop beats and rhyme on top of this ish. Let's go. I need more snare in my headphones, man. No, I ain't got time for that. I'm worried, and I'm hanging out at home, and I'm doing every day having conversations with lawyers and stuff. You see what I'm saying? Apparently he was renting, not a squatter. He was renting. I just find that weird. Yeah, thank you, magical girl. Magic. Just weird, right? Don't you find that a little bit weird? I mean, that's me, though. Not everybody's going to do the same thing, but at the same time, though, that seems a little bit weird, right? Yeah, with lion art, okay? Like with the whole star on his forehead and everything. Still doing all that, trying to keep up with appearances and everything. No, I'm taking all my stuff and I'm taking my ass all the way to my mama's. I'm sorry. All the way back to the rents. And I'm be like, yo, I'm being looked at like I killed somebody. Mama, can I come back home real quick? That's it. I'm not thinking about dropping beats and making rhymes and making art. I'm sorry. It just doesn't make sense to me. The fact that he was still in LA seems very strange to me personally. Now, some of y'all be like, oh, come on, man. Just because, no, man, he still needs to live life, man. Okay, I get that. But still, something about this seems weird. That doesn't seem weird to you? It's weird. He should have been in Texas with his fam. Hold up there, but no, he's too busy still in LA. What are you doing? Going on Minecraft or Fortnite and trying to lure other Celeste lookalikes? If you ask me, Cabron, that is very weird. Moving on the defense side, they could argue for scheduled bail so the singer can be released, arguing there's no possibility David could flee due to his fame status. Oh, dear God. Stop. There's no way he could flee. Because everybody knows who he is. He's so popular. He's not Diddy. He ain't Trump. He ain't Mike Tyson. He ain't Michael Jordan. He ain't Michael Jackson. He for damn sure ain't Michael Jackson. There can be only one. Highlander. But stop. Stop. His fame surpasses everything. No. So the BS excuses that they're pulling out of their ass is kind of sad. I'm just going to say it. Either way, multiple arguments will be made on both sides. The issue with this case is there's no real dispute that the car was registered to David. This is what Drelling said. He continues saying the question is whether or not the DNA they recovered from the car can circumstantially prove he was somehow involved in her demise. Okay, let's just stop right there for a hot freaking minute. It is his car. It is his car. I get it. Somebody else could have used it, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, let's look at the lowest hanging fruit. Let's take a good look at that lowest hanging fruit. This car is his car. This was his friend. There was a long relationship that he had with this particular friend, Celeste. There's a history of dialogue that they had. He was walking and rocking around with a mother-loving person who is not of age, a freaking little. That's enough right there. Now I get it. He may not have done this. I know, surprise, surprise. He may not have done this at all. He could very well be an innocence. And it could have been somebody else who took the car, put her body in that car, and tried to frame him for that situation. But that's the reason why we go to court. To fight that stuff out. You can't fight it out in the court of public opinion. You got to present all that stuff in court and stick him with a charge so that he can fight that out and show proof that he is absolutely innocent in this situation. But here's the thing, I don't think he is innocent. I just don't see it. Let's continue on. I think that's why it's been some time between the discovery of the body and his arrest, is that they're carefully picking apart and bringing together all the evidence. We'll have some answers soon, whether or not he's involved or whether or not he wasn't involved. Yes, I don't think that LAPD would have gone out of their way to arrest this guy if all willy-nilly after 7 whole months. You got to understand, you can't see willy-nilly would have been the day after her body was found. You see what I'm saying? And see, even that would make sense. Even to me, in my own mind, like I said, I'm just a guy with a microphone. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a cop. But I'm just saying, even that gut reaction in my mind makes sense. It's his car. This was his friend. This was parked outside of his home while he went on tour. That seems a little bit strange. He came back into town. That car moved around a little bit before he actually, and I'm sorry, I'm hopping around, but before he actually got on that tour, right? There's enough evidence and enough information out there that, yes, if they were just to shoot from the hip right out the gate, yeah, that would have been really, really premature, but it still would make sense. This is 7 whole months since her body was found. So this isn't just them just hoping that these charges will stick. I think that they have enough to be like, yo, this is his car. This is his friend. There's a long history of dialogue between these two. They were seen out together. This is his car. This is his friend. This is the car that her body was found inside of. This is the car that was parked outside of the home that he was staying in before it was actually towed. I mean, come on, guys. There's enough evidence in here to show us otherwise. But let's continue. In a statement by David's attorney, said his client is innocent and did not take the life of Celeste. So he says, or they say, let us be clear. The actual evidence in the case will show that David Burke did not murder Celeste Rivas Hernandez, and he was not the cause of her death. There has been no indictment returned by any grand jury in this case and no criminal complaint filed. David has only been detained under suspicion. We will vigorously defend David's innocence. Yeah, I get it, because that's how you get paid. That's how you pay them bills. Okay, fine. I get it. Attorneys for the family of Celeste say they will fully participate in the upcoming criminal court proceedings and plan to attend the arraignment on Monday. So, okay. So obviously, and isn't that interesting? Like the star would move in various places. It would be all over the place. Florida native, he for damn show ain't innocent. Okay? He for damn show ain't innocent. As much, and yep, David, he guilty. Him guilty. If you got the him guilty, if you a member, okay, you got the family chat emojis, put him guilty emojis in this chat if you think that him guilty. All right? Now, I want to tell you something. Still, there's a possibility that he didn't do anything wrong. Still, there is a possibility that somebody else did this and then try to pin it on him, but I just don't see it. I don't see it, guys. Dag nabbit, I don't see it. I don't see it. But give it time. Maybe we will hear something very, very soon that will tell us and give us, maybe they have some more. You got to remember, a lot of things aren't being played out in public. And there's been several months now since we've heard anything about David in the Celeste case. So they may have a whole lot more that we don't know anything about. You see what I'm saying? But I don't think that they're going to let this man walk. I highly, highly doubt it. All righty. I highly, highly doubt it. Uno momento, por favor. Come on. And guys, do me a solid. Do me the solid of hitting that like button down below. If you can, that'd be greatly appreciated. Hit that like button down below, please and thank you. Crush it. Do what it do. Hit that like button down below. See a bunch of y'all in here, so I appreciate you guys being here and spending the time with me and all that. But yeah, crazy.
David, who is expected to face murder charges this morning, 7 months after 14-year-old Celeste Rivas' body was found in a car that he owned. The 21-year-old suspect was arrested on Thursday and is expected to face a judge as early as this afternoon. Now, LA's DA has spent months building a case against him. David's lawyers maintain that he is not responsible for her death.
Later this morning, the Los Angeles District Attorney is expected to file murder charges against the platinum-selling artist known globally as David. Born David Anthony Burke, the singer built a following on viral ballads, including the song Romantic Homicide. But it's an unreleased demo titled Celeste that is now drawing a different kind of attention. That name is shared with 14-year-old Celeste Rivas, whose dismembered remains were found last September inside Burke's impounded Tesla in a Hollywood tow yard. The medical examiner said Rivas appeared to have been deceased for months. A video obtained by TMZ shows the LAPD arresting the 21-year-old in the Hollywood Hills last week. He is now being held without bail. Rivas' father reacted to the news saying, "Thank God, justice for Celeste." Burke's attorneys responded in a statement saying, in part, the actual evidence will show Burke did not murder Rivas and that he was not the cause of her death. Initially, the LAPD would not call David a suspect, partly because of how high-profile the case is and partly because of the condition of the remains.
Now, let me just say this, okay? Let me just say this. There's something that's really bothering me about this. Let's talk about this for a hot minute, okay? Let's talk about this for a hot minute. First and foremost, you got a man. He's a grown-ass man, okay? This is a grown man who is having a conversation with someone who is not even old enough to drive. Let's just start there. Which is, like I said, I'm not trying to be like, well, she wasn't old enough to drive. If she was, it would have been fine. No, it wouldn't have been. It still would have been fine. It would have been bad. It still would have been bad. Very bad. All right. But there is something about this. This is really aggravating me. Let's just talk about that. Let's start there at the base for now. The base is that you have somebody who's having a conversation with somebody who is not of age. Okay. Yeah, Angie, he wrong for that. Real talk, he wrong for that. That's without question, all right? But here's the other part. Here's the other part that's really aggravating me too. This girl was found in his car, in the front trunk of his car. God knows how long she really was in there for, but she was in there long enough for him to actually be concerned about if he had nothing to do with this, or if they're going on the angle of he was, like he had nothing to do with this, then why wasn't there any concern about her well-being? If they were the closest of friends, if they were so kind to each other, and it's true, every time she ran away, she was always found in the Hollywood Hills. Every time she ran away from her family's home, she was found in the Hollywood Hills. And where did D4vd live? In the mother-loving Hollywood Hills. So here's the thing. You got remains found in the front trunk of your own car. And not once did you ever go, if you didn't do anything, you're going, where's my friend Celeste? Or God forbid, even more disgusting, where's my lovelle, Celeste? Where could she be? Aren't you calling up, making phone calls, trying to find out where she is? Are you reaching out to family members? God forbid, most likely the Rivas family or the Hernandez family is probably going, no, you can go F yourself. But at the same time, was he not even worried about her whereabouts? Let's just start there. Let's start with that origin story. Real quick. You're good friends with this person. Let's just say that they're not even bumping uglies or anything crazy, nasty, or nefarious like that. Let's just say that they had a strong connection and they were the bestest of friends, and that's it. And they were just attached at the hip, and everything was platonic, and everything was copacetic and clean and holy. They kept the Holy Ghost between them, if you feels what I'm saying, right? She goes missing. Even if it's just for a few days, she goes missing. You as a friend who's been so tight, so tight with this particular person, wouldn't you automatically go, where's my friend Celeste? Where's she at? Anybody know where she is? There's got to be breadcrumbs. There's got to be breadcrumbs of him doing that. Come on. There's got to be breadcrumbs of him actually going, where's she at, calling her phone, doing whatever he can to find her, if and only if he's completely innocent in this situation. Like I said, one thing that we still have not heard, or like that I don't, or if it was talked about, I don't remember, okay, is how long her body had been, how long she had been dead for. Does anybody remember that number? Was she dead for like months? Was she dead for days? Was she dead for weeks? The decomposition of her body is pretty intense. That could be because of the heat. There's been talks of her being frozen and all that. We don't know all the proof and all the information, but at the same time, if it's been more than just, some of you guys are saying 6 weeks, 2 weeks, okay, fine. Okay, but here's the thing. If it was even just a few days and you guys are that attached at the hip, why aren't you frantically calling everybody and anybody you know to try to find out what's going on with your friend Celeste, guys? Come on. So again, as much as they go, the lawyers are like, he has nothing to do with her death, nothing to do with her murder. Well, then why wasn't he acting like he was concerned about her well-being? Why was he just chilling on tour, having his fun being a celebrity? There's no reports and no proof so far showing him concerned about her well-being. The person that was attached to his hip, Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And not once did he ever say, from what we understand so far, not once have we heard about him saying, where's she at? Ayo, Neon, have you seen Celeste? Where's she at, bro? I've been trying to call her, homie, and I don't know where she is. Man, I'm about to crash out. I don't know where she is. Do you know where she be? Because I ain't seen nothing. Someone tell me something. We don't see anything like that. We have heard nothing of that sort. Now, this is information that could have been left for the investigation and not given out to the general public. You got to remember, D4vd has not made any statements. He has not spoken out at all. Not at all whatsoever. But the people that surround his life aren't saying those things either. They're not sitting there going, yo, man, y'all out of pocket. Y'all don't know the full story. What's really happening is this. See, what had happened was this. And in fact, he has been trying to find her, man. He's been calling her ever since she disappeared. So again, like I said, even just the smallest things, the devil is in the freaking details. If you got somebody who's not going out of his way to try to find that person that he claims is a good friend or even more disturbing, like a lover or something like that, I just find that a little bit weird, y'all. I find that odd. And his team, his lawyers, are going to have to do everything they can to explain that part.
But sources in the department tell us they've been methodically building the case for months. CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson.
A 7-month delay is not unreasonable or unheard of in a case where you find a decomposed and dismembered body. Investigators have to get forensic evidence, digital evidence, talk to witnesses, get documentary evidence in order to decide to move forward whether they can prove proof beyond a reasonable doubt.
We're told by sources within the district attorney's office and the police that they have reached that threshold. Now, the DA's team believes it can prove to a jury that David committed the murder. The biggest question going forward is, will this be first or second degree murder? If it's first degree murder, and if he is convicted, he could spend the rest of his life behind bars.
Yeah, he's screwed. Long story short, he's in very big trouble. Hold on.
Okay, so now
I got to hold on to that because I definitely need to see that, which could be absolutely terrible for us as humans. We're going to talk about that in a second. But let me pull this up because even his parents are now saying, like, they knew. They're not shocked by this arrest, that they knew that this arrest was inevitable. Okay. But they're saying they're still supporting him. They're saying that they got his back, which is also very interesting. But take a look at this, an exclusive interview, I guess, from TMZ. Parents are not surprised by this arrest. And those are his parents right there. He looks like his mom. That's interesting. All right, moving on. So D4vd's parents aren't surprised he's behind bars on suspicion of murdering Celeste Rivas, but they don't plan on giving up on their son. Yeah. You never underestimate the power of denial. Like I always say, never underestimate the power of denial. But moving on. Kent Schaefer, the Texas-based attorney representing David Dawood Burke and Colleen Burke. I wonder where his father's originally from. Dawood, or, where he got that name. But Dawood Burke and Colleen Burke tells us D4vd's folks are obviously upset and sad for their son, but they were all well aware this was a strong possibility. As we reported, LAPD's viewed the singer as their suspect in the case for several months. Yes, Schaefer says that the Burkes didn't speak to David after his arrest Thursday evening, but he's uncertain, if they had a chance to do so on Friday. See, that's the other thing too. I'm kind of curious if he knew his arrest was coming, like he knew he was going to get arrested, and then this happened, or something of that sort. You know how it is. Like sometimes they can arrange some sort of like, okay, you want to turn yourself in on this day, blah blah blah. But I think they did this all in a big ass surprise. Okay, the attorney does think the LA County DA's office will probably charge D4vd with Celeste murder, and the Burkes are planning to fly out to LA to be there for their son. Which, by the way, I commend them for doing that because not everybody wants to do that crap. Okay. Some people are like, I don't want to stand. I don't stand for that. I will not support my son in a situation like that. Hell to the no. Right. But some people will actually show up and support their kid no matter what they're going through, which is commendable. I will say that. But let's take a look at this. We played it earlier when he first was arrested, but just a little trip down memory lane.
It's going to obscure my view from the gate. It's good? If you try to run or if you try to resist, you will get hit with my feet or it's going to hurt. I got you.
I guess they're going to use like rubber bullets on him or something like that. And he's like, y'all, he's like, hey, the cop's like, don't be stupid. Don't try to be slick because we have these rubber balls, these rubber bullets. If we can hit you with them and they going to hurt. You don't want that. You don't want no smoke from us. So come out slow, hands up, right?
If you try to run, we'll clean out our premises and you will get bit. I got you. All right, so the gate is locked. Do I open the gate? Sir? Open the gate.
So let me tell you this, pretty smooth sailing, if you ask me. You feel me? Like this whole thing, okay, it is pretty, that did sound like a taser. I don't know Rose City. That was very weird. And someone said in the chat, real quick, I want to read that before. Home, thank you so much. Said that Dawood is the Arabic Islamic version of the Hebrew David. So thank you so much for letting me know that. Cause I was wondering, I'm like, interesting. You know, I was like, it sounds a lot like it would just be like David, but it's not, right? But again, very interesting. His arrest, we're seeing that, you know, we're just seeing that now. That happened just a few days ago, like we talked about it and what it broke. When that case or when that situation broke, right? Mary Hubbard, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. I love you, Pascal. Love you too, girl. Thank you so much, Mary. Always keep it real. I try, I'm trying, the news be newsing. Yeah, so we got no other choice but to be completely straight funky up in these streets. So as you know, a heavily armed police unit took David into custody at the Hollywood Hills home that he was staying at, which used to be Sandra Bullock's crib, just so you know. He's still in the Hollywood Hills. Like I said, it's very interesting. And don't get me wrong, he probably got his own bread. He's probably still making money off of revenue, off of clicks and views, because people are still, he probably got a grip when this whole trial was going on. Like, or not this whole trial, when this whole case started popping off, everybody and their mama started listening to the Homicide Romance or whatever the hell it's called. Everybody was. He's getting clicks and hits. He's getting paid off that. You see what I'm saying? Pretty insane, right? He was booked into jail just after 10 p.m. Thursday, and he's being held without bail, like we already know. All right, he was taken into custody more than 7 months after, Rivas's mutilated body was found in the front trunk of his Tesla, which we already know. This is his dad. Yeah, he looks like his mom. It's crazy. In Florida, in February, the grand jury called Dawood and Colleen to testify, but they've been fighting it. That's interesting. So they're asking for them to testify in this grand jury, And they've been trying to find every way they can to dodge this. That's wild. So, and Schaefer tells us they still plan on fighting it. The lawyer says if the DA needs parents to testify, then they have no case. In my opinion, they're just doing that for harassment purposes. A proper subpoena was issued. If a proper subpoena was issued, they would have already spoken. That's interesting. So it's, he obviously trusts his family. Remember, back in September, he transferred 2 of his Texas homes to his mother's name. So he has 2 properties in Texas, and he took them and he put them under his mom's name. Bottom line, D4vd's parents plan on being there for their son, come hell or high water. Now, what's interesting about this, of course, too, which we talked about this ad nauseum when he moved some of his properties under his mother's name. Clearly, to me, it says that he knew this inevitably was going to happen. Or he wants to protect some of his assets because for a fact, you don't think that the Rivas Hernandez family isn't going to try to go after him civilly? Go after his financials? If they find out that he has something to do, which they clearly already feel like that he has something to do with, with her life being taken, you really don't think that they're not going to look at that situation and go, okay, we're going to go after him criminally, but we're also going to go after him financially as well. Okay? Let's be real. Think about that for a hot minute. 1 hot minute. You really don't think that they're not going to go after him financially? They will. And they should. They should. Now, the classic one just said, maybe not. They already showed that they didn't care, Pascal. Well, we've talked about this, but we're going to talk about it. Let's talk about the parents. Let's talk about parents in general, right? Not these parents. Celeste's parents. Let's just talk about that for a second, all right? Let's talk about this. All right. I think the parents do care. But I also think that the parents are at a place where they're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, and there's only so much that they can do. It's hard to explain what I'm trying to say. I think the parents do care. But I also think that they have a child that, in my opinion, thinks that she's grown, during that time. She was a habitual runaway. She ran away all the time. And I think at some point, the parents are like, I can't do this anymore. I can't fight this anymore. I can't keep running after her anymore. We've already coddled her. We've already given her love. We've already given her, tough love. We've done every varying degree of love and discipline on this child. And she keeps running away and keeps getting found in the Hollywood Hills. What did we do? All we can do is now, because at some point you just got to let her go. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not trying to justify anything at all, but I'm just trying to say maybe at some point this is the thought process of the parents. It's like a child that has severe addiction issues. Think about that too. You got a kid who has done everything under the sun to tell you that they're going to get clean, and then they don't. Or they get clean for 2 seconds, and then they go back to the addiction, right? And then they go back to the same things that they were doing before. Stealing from you, lying to you, X, Y, and Z. At some point, you've tried every single rehab facility and rehab tactic that you can. You've spent all of your money, maybe put a whole other mortgage on your house just so you can get your kid clean. You've done the tough love. You've done the love. You've done the coddling. You've done everything. And yet it still does not change. They keep doing crazy, messed up things, trying to screw you over, right? Just so that they can keep chasing the dragon, getting high. At some point, you're just going to have to rip the Band-Aid off and walk away. And that's what a lot of parents end up having to do. And it's the toughest thing that a parent can do, because they can't, there's only so much you can do. And at some point, it's like, I've exhausted every resource, and I've been doing this for years for you, with you. I am in there with you, right? I'm in that rehab with you. Every time you've gone in there, I've been in there with you. Every time I have to bail you out of jail, I'm right there with you. I'm locked up with you. I'm bop, 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 bop. I'm doing all this, and I'm trying everything I can to get you clean and have you have a better life than what you want, than what you have. And at some point, the parents are just going to be like, F it, I'm done. I'm done. I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. And then they shut off. They completely distance themselves from the kid. They go, you know what? This is the only kind of love I can give them right now. Because now they got to figure it out for themselves. So in the same way, and I'm not sitting here saying, I'm not trying to justify that what the parents chose to do or anything like that. I'm not trying to, attack the parents or anything of that sort. But I'm just saying, maybe they hit a point of no return where they're like, this girl is not, she's rebellious. She is not willing to stay home. Anytime we tell her to do something and she doesn't like it, she just packs up a bag and runs out the door, sometimes right in front of our face, sometimes while we're asleep. We can't do this anymore. So F it. We already know where she's going. Every time we go and try to find her and we report her missing, she is found in the Hollywood Hills every single time. We already know where she is. So F it. We can't keep fighting this way. We can't do this. We can't keep this up very long. So now we just got to do this type of love. We already know where she is. And hopefully she'll come back. But for right now, that's where she's going to be. We'll still report her missing, which they did in 2024. But that's all we can do now. We can't keep spending money on private investigators and putting all this time into the thing. We already know where she is. If she wants to be rebellious, if she wants to be addicted to this man or to this lifestyle in the Hollywood Hills, all we can do is wait for her to come back home. And when she decides to come back home, we will be here with arms wide open, ready to receive our daughter again. Maybe that's what's going on. I know some people are like, oh no, David paid for her and blah, blah, blah. I don't know about all that. Okay? But I do think that could be a possibility. That angle. She keeps running away. We can't keep running after her. She is a problem child. She might have been really tough to deal with. Very rebellious. Talking, mouthing off to the family, calling them names and all those things. Thinking that she's grown when she clearly isn't. And then finally, they were just like, okay, we can't keep running after her every time. It's taking away from work. It's taking away from our other kids. It's taking away from what we need to do here at home. And that might be it. Like I said, it may be right. I don't think there's any right way. I don't think there's any wrong way. But I do think that that's what's going on here. Let me get this. Deb, thank you so much for being a member for over 17 months, if I'm correct. As a mom of a neurodivergent addict son, it is soul destroying. See, exactly. It is absolutely, and I understand that. You see what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people that can literally echo exactly what you're saying right now, right? General Genobi, what's up? Tagged you in a current mass pew in North Carolina. Oh, dear Lord. We're going to look at that. There was a mass shoot. I was already going to be talking to you guys about a whole other mass shooting today with a family of 8, which we are still going to talk about as well at some point today too. Like I said, there's a lot of craziness going on today, but we will continue. So I will look that up when I get a second. But thank you so much for letting me know about this mass shooting in North Carolina. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, another one. And yet we're overseas dealing with other crap that we shouldn't even need to be worried about right now in the first place. Like, what world are we living in? Yeah, 2026 is wilding. It's wilding big time. Okay? Yeah, 8 children. We gonna talk about it in a second, in a little bit, for sure. You know, we do have this press conference happening in less than 25 minutes from now. So we are going to talk about that and discuss that as well. But there is something I needed. This is a little bit left turn, okay? A left, big, fat ass left turn. Okay, hold on. Actually, I take that back. This is going to be a little bit of a palate cleanser. So I'm going to hold that for now, and we're going to get into this other thing, which this is insane. What we are about, the palate cleanser is absolutely insane. Let me just say that really quick, okay? And G.A. Hamilton, thank you so much. He's cooked because the underage child issue. Yes. Oh, he's cooked, absolutely. No matter what. Body was found in the car. Let's just let's put aside the fact that she's a child and that it's 14-year-old and blah blah blah. Put age and all that off to the side. Let's just start with the bare minimum. Body found inside car. Period. Done. Wrapped. It's a wrap. You see what I'm saying? It's a wrap. So, real quick, let me see what Janobi sent me. Real quick, because we do have this press conference coming up, and I do know that we all want to see that as well. You sent it to me where, Janobi? Where did you send it? Because I don't see it in the chat. I don't see it in the if you send it to me via X, I don't see it. But like, is this from like a few days ago? This shooting? Or are you talking about another one? Hold on. Like, this is brand new. This is happening right now. Because I don't see. Hold on. Make sure I'm not losing. It's happening right now? Just now. Okay. This morning. Have mercy. Because, yeah, I'm looking on X right now, and I don't see anything about a shooting. But let me check. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, wow. Okay, hold on. Let's see this.
FMY News 2 breaking news now.
Breaking news right now on WFMY News 2 at noon. Right now, we're learning new information about a fight in Winston-Salem that ended in a shooting.
Yeah, at a park. The assistant chief is speaking now.
Jesus.
We're on the way to investigate that fight. The call was upgraded to a shooting. Officers arrived to Lineback Park and located multiple gunshot victims.
Wow.
This far in the investigation, we've been able to determine, and I'm going to release what we have confirmed at this point, that 2 juveniles agreed to meet at the park to fight. During the fight, firearm was discharged, which resulted in multiple victims being shot. As far as suspects and victims, we have identified numerous people involved with this investigation. However, we are still determining their exact involvement, whether they're suspect, victim, or witness. The purpose of this statement is the safety of our community is always at the top of the Winston-Salem Police Department's list. So,
What the hell's going on? Are they suddenly thinking that they're freaking like Wyatt Earp or something like that? Like, what in the hell? Meet you there at sundown. Like, what is going on? So they meet up, they get into fisticuffs, and then the fisticuffs situation turns into weapons being pulled out and triggers being pulled. What?
Again, this is what we have confirmed right now. We are still, our detectives and other personnel with the police department are still actively investigating this.
What the hell?
Once we have more confirmed information, Chief Penn will do a news conference and update the community and everyone that has an interest in this. As we know, this is a very big topic for the community. I will tell you the schools are safe. If parents wish to pick their kids up from school, they can do so at the school. As far as Jefferson Middle School, there will be an alternate route. We ask that they enter the school from Peace Haven because the entrance at Robin Hood is blocked. And that is all we're going to release right now. Again, Chief Penn will give a more in-depth news conference later. Thank you all.
What in the hell?
There are several victims. We're not going to talk about fatalities. Again, we're still investigating.
So things are still developing. They don't know everything yet right now, but there's been a mass shooting, just so you guys know. Those of y'all who are just getting, showing up, maybe late to the party, or just kind of walked away from your phone or the TV, just so you know that there was a mass shooting out in Lineback, North Carolina. And from what they're saying is that two people were, I guess they were supposed to meet up for like a fight. They were supposed to meet up for some sort of fight on these grounds, and then as they were in the fight, then they broke out into a shooting. What in the hell? Same in Iowa City right now. What is going on in Iowa City right now, Genobi? Is there another mass shooting going on right now? Because isn't today? Not only is it 420, okay, smoke it if you got it, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, that was supposed to be like as if you're getting lifted, because it's 420. But moving on, 2 hours ago there was another mass shooting in Iowa City. What in the hell? But also today is also the 27th anniversary of Columbine, if I'm correct. It's been 27 years since that tragedy, since the very first mass school tragedy ever. 27 years ago, Columbine happened on 420. Yeah. So you got that going on too. So they're now saying, okay, according to, and thank you, Matthysse, for sending this to me, several people shot. 2 people have been killed in Lineback Park near a middle school in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. This is according to North Carolina SBI. Police say a planned fight led to multiple people opening fire. Multiple people opened fire on each other whilst 2 people were supposed to go get into fisticuffs at this arranged fight. Yeah, I don't know, like somebody said some Tombstone type stuff. Like I'm saying, like who thought they were Billy the Kid and Wyatt Earp? Who thought this was like West Side Story, but without knives, with pew-pews? Something weird is going on. But let me play a little bit more of this. This is just absolutely insane. Okay, because we do have that press conference happening in about 19 minutes from now, so we're keeping an eye on that as well.
Schools are safe. That is the foremost important piece of information
Jesus.
We want to relay, as we just heard a news conference with Assistant Chief Jason Swaim of the Winston-Salem Police Department on the heels of what he said was a planned fight involving 2 young people, 2 juveniles. We don't know their ages. It
Kids?
escalated into a shooting.
Hold on. 2 juveniles? What in the hell is going on? What in the hell is going on today? What? Because there were like 4 shootings that happened yesterday. 4 of them. All of them gruesome. including the one of them where a man went in and took the life of 7 of his children. 8 kids lost their lives. 7 of them were his own children that he sired himself. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit too. What in the F is going on? 5 people were shot. Hold on. Let me play this. This is the other thing with Iowa City that happened yesterday as well. We're going to talk about that. Okay. Have mercy. What the F is going on here, guys?
Lineback
What?
Park.
Children?
He said there are multiple victims, but did not elaborate on the extent of injuries, any possible deaths, or the ages of those involved.
Yeah, those people involved are still working to determine who exactly are the suspects and who are the victims. But as he mentioned, all students are safe within their schools.
All right, we have live team coverage throughout the area. This all unfolding in a very busy area of Winston-Salem on Robin Hood Road. The assistant chief was just speaking from the Ace Hardware just down the road from the Robin Hood YMCA, where earlier we saw police tape. People were sheltering in the YMCA. There was also a secure hold at 2 schools, Jefferson Middle School and Mount Tabor High School. Those 2 schools, as we just emphasized, are now back to normal operations. But if parents want to pick up their children, they're being encouraged to do so from the Peace Haven Road entrance. Again, a lot of Robin Hood Road is still blocked off right now as this investigation continues.
And right now we're bringing you team coverage. We do have our Amber Lake at the park, and Hannah Hill is at the media staging ground where we just had that news conference. Let's go ahead and check in with our live crews. Let's head out to Amber Lake, who is at the park.
Lauren, Megan, yeah, we're here at Lineback Park, and it's still completely blocked off and taped off. I mean, there's yellow tape literally just covering the entire outline of the park that you see, and there's multiple police officers that are just walking through this entire
What the hell
area.
is going
It's been
on?
like this for a while. We were able to see this helicopter. Maybe you can see it through the trees right now. That's a State Highway Patrol helicopter that's been circling this area for the past 30, 45 minutes or so. I mean, we saw a entire group of parents earlier who were trying to pick up their children from Jefferson Middle, and they're shocked. They are scared. They told me that they have been in situations like this before here in Winston-Salem, and they don't know how to feel about this. Obviously, like we have mentioned, the schools are safe right now, but a lot of these parents, these grandparents, just want to pick up their child and take them home. I was able to talk with one grandparent who said that he had actually just gotten home from work earlier this morning. He was taking a nap whenever one of his grandkids came and started pounding on his bedroom door, saying there was a shooting. One of our siblings is in the area where the shooting was. And so he said that he got up, he got dressed, and he immediately came out here. I was able to talk to him earlier. Let's see if we can play that soundbite for you.
I just think it's kind of tragic at the end of the day, because it's the younger kids that are losing their lives and getting injured in these situations. And at the end of the day, it's probably senseless. I don't know the facts, but it's probably something that could have been averted. And I just think as a community, we all need to get together to help solve some of these issues that may be driving some of the youth to this type of anger or hostility, whatever's going on. It's senseless.
What in the F is actually going on? What in the F is actually going on with our planet, man? Especially with our country, especially with the youngins too. Like, I mean, I feel like we're so far gone. It just doesn't make any sense. But let us continue.
And I mean, look, we're still following this helicopter that is continuing to circle the area. Again, this all happened on Robin Hood Road. They just reopened this road not too long ago, so we do have a lot of traffic going back and forth. So if you are moving in this area, you're driving in this area, be mindful of that. But this is an active and ongoing situation, and like we've talked about earlier, so many people are scared. So many people just want to make sure that their child is safe. Again, we just heard from Winston-Salem Police. They just had that press conference earlier. They said that there are multiple suspects and victims in this, so we're just hoping for a smooth resolution in this case, guys.
Yeah, I think that's an important distinction too. They believe this was isolated and a circumstance that warrants reopening the schools right now. But they have not necessarily said whether they have every suspect in custody. And as the assistant chief pointed out, they're still trying to distinguish between suspect, victim, and witness in this case because it seemingly escalated so quickly this morning.
Yeah, and as you can see in the video behind Amber, there were helicopters in the sky. They do have drones out there as they continue to search for all who are involved. So they're asking anyone with their own drones not to fly them at this time.
Another note, this happened at Lineback Park. As a parent, I've heard of this park in Winston-Salem. It's known for its battleship replica. So if this had happened on, say, a Saturday afternoon, like the gorgeous one we just had, this situation could have been even worse than what it is now. And we're still trying to figure out how bad it is. The assistant chief stopped short of elaborating on wounds or the severity of injuries or whether anyone is dead. We are continuing to stay on top of this. As we look at the map here, if you're just now joining us on WFMY News 2 at noon, we're looking at where this occurred, Lineback Park, not far from the Robin Hood Road YMCA, adjacent to Jefferson Middle School, and also not far from Mount Tabor. This obviously brings back a lot of very dark memories for families of Mount Tabor, having dealt with that deadly shooting back in September of 2021.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago, and it wasn't that long ago that we had that deadly stabbing at Carver High School out in Winston-Salem. So a lot of families on edge right now. Let's go on out to WFMY News 2's Hannah Hill. She's on scene where we just had that news conference. Hannah, I know a lot of new information just coming in. Walk us through what you learned earlier.
That's right, Lauren, a whole lot of new information, as you mentioned. And one thing I really want to point out is if you're not familiar with this part of Winston-Salem, it's very busy. And the number one word I could use to describe the past hour and a half I've been out here is simply chaotic. Amber mentioned it, State Highway Patrol, choppers, we've had drones, we've seen multiple agencies represented here and several cop cars just zooming through this area, heading to the impacted area. And we are at the Media Staging Center. And what I think is really standing out to me about where we are right now and the message from law enforcement is we're supposed to be here because there were so many people involved that it was dangerous for the media to get that close to the situation. So that's why we're a little bit away. And if you pan the camera this way, as far as we can get to the situation is that YMCA, and we've been told by police to stay right here. We're in, you might be familiar, Little John's Tavern in that parking lot right now. I was able to walk up this strip a little bit earlier this morning, and the YMCA is blocked off. The intersection up there is blocked off. I talked to a few businesses on the side, and it's really bringing back those feelings and the emotion of the Mount Tabor shooting that happened a few years ago, which was absolutely tragic. I talked to the insurance company down here, and they said they heard about 10 shots, 2 of them specifically closer to who worked in offices closer to the side of where this situation unfolded. And they just said to me, pow, 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 10 times is what they heard. And then the one lady told me she had chills just run down her body, and once again, reminding her of that Mount Tabor situation. And when I walked up to the insurance company, the guy standing on the outside said we had the doors locked, but I just came out because I got a call on the phone from my mom who was in the YMCA when all of this happened. Of course, that was a hard call for him to take, knowing that his mom was so close to where this fight broke out. So all of this, as the assistant chief just said, a planned fight between 2 people happened and then apparently escalated into a shooting. And again, I clarified with him, several people, we have several victims here, and we don't know to the extent of which their injuries are. So we have several of those. The gun was discharged, numerous people involved, as Megan mentioned. Do we know who's a suspect, who's a victim? Just still trying to figure out all of that information. And what this seems and appears to be to me is just so many people involved in this situation. Maybe it was something that was circulating to do a meetup to where lots of people would have been there. Of course, this is a Monday in the middle of the school day, so you would think people at nearby schools would be in class, but those are still just details we're all working to understand and figure out. They also said Chief Penn will come out here. We don't know how much time that may be, if he'll be here in 10 minutes or an hour, but we'll be standing out here at the staging center waiting for the chief to come and answer all those remaining questions that we do have.
That is just
a lot of anxiety.
Absolutely insane. Okay. And that's actually happening in real. That just happened, and that's still happening. And then, of course, as you guys can see down below, There is a press conference that's happening. As you can see, he put up the watch or like the clock to let us know that this press conference is going to be happening in about 7 minutes. Allegedly, they will be holding a press conference. The David Celeste case, that's supposed to be happening here anytime now. Hold on. Excuse me. That's supposed to be happening anytime now. So again, this is so we're keeping an eye on all this. Okay, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on today, guys. Like I said, so you got kids meeting up, children, for Christ's sakes, children meeting up to have a scheduled fight, to go after each other, to go ham on each other, only for this whole situation to turn into, sounds like a gang-related thing. I'm going to be completely real. Okay, thank you so much for the blessings. I appreciate that, guys. Seriously, thank you. I might sneeze again here in a second. I feel it coming here in a second, but nonetheless, excuse me. Nonetheless, a lot of bad. Okay, a lot of bad things happening all at the same time. Okay, but of course, there's something else that I want to talk to you guys about, because there's been other shootings, there's been other situations that have happened that we are going to talk about here in just a little bit. But I'm going to do a little palate cleanser now, because we are waiting for this press conference to happen. And so I'm just going to play this now, okay? Because I know that we're still waiting on a lot. Something's going on. There is something going on right now. Don't know what this is all about. Let's find out, though. Hold up. I mean, they straight up have his face on there and everything. I guess that's his mugshot. Y'all see that? That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Hold on. I guess the guy's just trying to get excuse me. I guess the guy's just trying to get situated or something. I don't know. But obviously there is going to be a press conference here happening very, very shortly. So in fact, let me just switch this stuff out. I'll wait for the palate cleanser after this, because obviously this is going to be happening here very, very shortly. So just give me a second, guys. It was here, but okay, there we go. In the meantime, I'm going to see if I can find a cleaner press conference. Okay, so just give me a second. But this is the press conference. They're getting together. It looks like now the mugshot is. It looks like the mugshot is actually exists. He already has his hands on it already. This guy. So I'm gonna see if I can get my hands on some things. But that is crazy. Press conference is gonna be happening any minute now. But in the meantime, I'm gonna see if I can find a better feed, because they should be. I mean, they should be live about this everywhere, to be completely real. Ah, I found it. Hold on, guys. A much better one. Okay. Shout out to Court TV, because we got that better feed. Ba-boom. Whoops. Let me get rid of that too. Boom. See, this new program has some perks, as you guys can see. It has its perks. It has its perks, guys. So I'm able to do, like, you know, multiple screens and multiple windows, so we could watch certain things. If ish hits the fan, I could do multiple angles and multiple views. If you know, or if we're waiting for a press conference to start, we could wait. You know what I mean? We can have that running at the same doggone time. Hopefully, they brighten up the camera, because this is very, very dark. Let's just be completely real. All right, but let's find out what's going to happen here. Are they charging the hell out of this dude or not? Right now, I'm going to try to see if I can find this. I'm going to see if I can find this mugshot. I'm sure it's only going to take a few seconds to find this mugshot, but give me a second. Bang. We got it. There he is in all of its glory. David's mugshot. Splat out.
Morning, everybody. We are going to give you an update on this case here in just a minute, just to give you an idea of what's going to happen here. We've got the Los Angeles County District Attorney, Nathan Hochman, and the Chief of Police, Jim McDonald, coming up, and they will be speaking to you. I will ask you when we get to any questions. There's only going to be time for just a few brief questions, so this isn't going to be a long Q&A afterwards. I'm going to ask you if you could do one at a time as much as possible so that we can hear the question, process it, and answer it appropriately. District Attorney Nathan Hochman.
Good morning. My name is Nathan Hochman. I'm the District Attorney of Los Angeles County. With me up here is Los Angeles Police Department Chief Jim McDonald. Also at this podium on the DA's side are the Assistant District Attorney Maria Ramirez, who oversees our special operations. We have John McKinney, who is our Director of Specialized Prosecutions. The Assistant Head Deputy District Attorney is Habib Balian of the Major Crimes Division. Deputy District Attorney Beth Silverman of the Major Crimes Division will be the lead prosecutor on this case. From the Los Angeles Police Department, we also have Captain Scott Williams, who's the commanding officer of LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division, the Chief of Detectives, Alan Hamilton, the Director of Specialized Prosecutions, Mike Rimkunis, and the LAPD detectives on this case, Josh Byers and Corey Farrell. Today, I am announcing the charges against David Anthony Burke, the musician known as David, spelled D4vd, in connection with the brutal and horrific murder of Celeste, a 14-year-old at that time. These charges include the most serious charges that a DA's office can bring. That is first-degree murder with special circumstances. The special circumstances being lying in wait, committing this crime for financial gain, or murdering a witness in an investigation. These special circumstances carry with it, along with the first-degree murder charge, a maximum sentence of life without the possibility of parole or the death penalty. The determination on whether or not the district attorney's office will seek the death penalty will be made at a later time. Before I get into the actual charges, and there are additional charges against Mr. Burke, including continuous sexual acts, lewd and lascivious sexual acts with an individual under 14 years old, and mutilating a human remains of a body. Before I get into the description of these charges and their seriousness, I want to look at this as a parent. I am a parent of 3 children, and a parent's nightmare is a situation where your daughter goes out one night and never comes back. As we will show in a court of law, and what I also want to make sure about that the understanding of these charges is clear, is my description of these charges is not evidence that we are going to present in court. These charges, in fact, will not be evidence in the court. Evidence will be the witness testimony, the documents, and different types of admissible testimony that we will admit into court in the prosecution, and if it leads to the eventual trial of Mr. Burke, to convince a jury of 12 people beyond a reasonable doubt that each and every one of these charges is true, as well as the special allegations and circumstances that have been alleged.
Oh, he's done.
Now, back to this being a parent's nightmare. On April 23rd, 2025, as been alleged by the complaint, Celeste, a 14-year-old at that time, went to Mr. Burke's house in the Hollywood Hills. She was never heard from again. On September 8th, 2025, as alleged in the complaint, Miss Celeste remains, her dismembered and decomposed remains, were found in 2 bags inside of a front trunk of a car registered to Mr. Burke. Thereafter began an investigation. The investigation was to determine who killed, who murdered Celeste months and months before. That investigation was carried out in unison and in partnership between the LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division and the District Attorney's Office. At every point in the investigation, through the arrest and the filing of charges, the LAPD and the District Attorney's Office went to Mr. Burke's home on the night of the was for Mr. Burke to maintain his very lucrative musical career that Celeste was threatening that particular night. The third charge, in addition to lying in wait and for financial gain, is murdering a witness to an investigation. In this particular case, as the evidence will come out in court, the witness to the investigation was Celeste. And the investigation was into the lewd and lascivious sexual acts committed by Mr. Burke that is the subject of count 2 of this complaint with Celeste while she was under 14 years old.
Don't worry, I'm going to play this again for those of y'all who may be missing. I know there was a weird buffering thing. Don't worry, I'm going to play it back again here in just a little bit because there's a lot to dissect. Let's continue.
I had the chance to meet with some of the family members of Celeste, and is incalculable as to what happened to their daughter. What they have demanded, what we have assured them that the district attorney's office working with LAPD would give them is the idea, is the proof beyond a reasonable doubt on who killed their daughter, on how their daughter was killed, when their daughter was killed, and bring that killer to justice. That killer that we have now charged is David Anthony Burke. We will have questions after I speak and Chief McDonald speaks. At this point, I invite Chief McDonald to speak.
You might have to hit the refresh button, guys. Refresh the page.
I want to begin by
I'll be playing
expressing
that part again in a
deepest
second.
Condolences to the parents of Celeste Rivas. No parent or any human being should have to endure what you've gone through.
That's insane.
Today, alongside DA Hochman and our partners at the LA County District Attorney's Office, and thanks to the tireless and hard work of our investigators at the LAPD, we're announcing the arrest and prosecution of David Burke for the murder of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas. Throughout the 7-month investigation, this department has faced criticism for how we handled the case and for our decision not to provide details. I want to be clear about something. My duty is not to fuel speculation, it's to deliver justice, and that requires patience and discipline on everybody's part. This investigation was driven by a single purpose: to secure justice for Celeste Rivas and for those who loved her. We had to be certain that nothing we did or said would ever jeopardize this case.
This is crazy.
Ms. Rivas was a reported runaway from Riverside County. During the course of our investigation, detectives learned that she had been involved in a sexual relationship with Mr. Burke when she was a minor and he was an adult. On April 23, 2025, Ms. Rivas arrived at Mr. Burke's home in the Hollywood Hills. That's the last time she was known to be alive. On September 8, 2025, Ms. Rivas's dismembered and badly decomposed body was discovered in the front trunk of Mr. Burke's impounded Tesla. From that moment forward, our investigators faced an extraordinary, difficult, and complex case. The condition of her remains delayed the medical examiner's ability to be able to determine cause of death.
This is crazy.
The substantial amount of time that passed between her death and the discovery meant that crucial evidence had degraded or disappeared. And as detectives worked to uncover the truth, they also had to sift through and debunk a great deal of false information circulating publicly. These challenges were real, and they required patience, precision, and an unwavering commitment to the facts. Despite these obstacles, and despite intense public pressure, our Robbery Homicide Division detectives remained steadfast in their duties. They recovered and analyzed a substantial amount of digital and forensic evidence. They stayed focused, disciplined, and committed to uncovering the truth. Their work, in close collaboration with the District Attorney's Office, has brought us to this moment today. I want to thank the District Attorney and his team, as always, for their partnership. This case demanded coordination, persistence, and a shared commitment to justice. Also, thank you to our media partners for showing up today and for sharing this important message with the public. And finally, undo the pain you are feeling. Our hope is that today brings some measure of accountability and a step in the journey toward healing. Please know that the Los Angeles Police Department remains fully committed to seeking justice on behalf of your daughter. Thank you.
So with respect to the court, we will be seeking quite quickly to provide an order to the court that now allows the coroner to release that report to the public.
Do you believe that he acted from the BBC between
man.
between the finding of the body of Celeste's body or her remains? Why has it taken so long for an arrest to be made?
I think the police chief got it right, that in a situation where you don't have an eyewitness account, or we can't point to a video that shows the killer killing someone, you have to go through the very rigorous and thorough investigation to look at all the digital and forensic evidence. You have to speak with witnesses, often who are cooperative, and some who are not cooperative, in order to obtain all the information necessary to decide who did what, when, how, and what their mental state was at the time.
Damn.
That is what we've been doing over the last, between September 8th, roughly, and today when we bring these charges on April 20th. So again, it's a type of case that you want to make sure you get maximum information. And by the way, if there's anyone out there that has material information about this particular murder or any other actions taken by Mr. Burke, please come forward to the Los Angeles Police Department, come forward to the LA County DA's office, and report that information.
Mr. Hoffman, there are other people who are aware of this
This is
relationship.
insane.
Is it possible that you will be arresting other people within his circle, and did he act alone in this death?
Thank you. Good question.
Again, with respect to whether or not there's any other individuals or we're going to take any other actions, you will know about them if we do, but at this point I'm not commenting.
Do you believe that you know how she was killed, beyond it being homicide? The actual cause of death?
The coroner's report will be released shortly.
Thank you, nurse.
Because it is not currently released, I'm not going to be commenting.
But was it determined, not that, if you won't say what it was, but has it been determined how she was killed, beyond it being homicide?
The coroner has made a determination on how Celeste died, and at the point that the coroner's report becomes public, we'll be able to comment on it.
Was there a specific breakthrough last week? Is there physical evidence that ties David to this murder?
There is physical evidence and there is forensic and digital evidence that we intend to present in court to prove these charges beyond a reasonable doubt.
Only a couple more questions.
Yes.
Wow.
Your investigation.
This
and just to his question,
is bad.
are you able to tell us exactly what the smoking gun is, and also if you can address the issue of his visit to Santa Barbara, and that, how does it connect with the murder?
So with respect to the actual details of the evidence we're going to be presenting in court, I'm not going to do that today. As far as the concept of a smoking gun, the smoking gun is the totality of the evidence that we're going to bring to prove any case, whether it's this case or any case, beyond a reasonable doubt.
This is nuts, y'all.
An investigation is ongoing.
Don't worry, I'm
If
going to be
investigation
replaying the top
comes-
part of
if
this.
Information comes forward on any, with respect to any additional crimes, we will certainly investigate it.
One more
Yes.
question. One more. There's been so much discussion about the difficulties in this case. The chief talked about it as well. What makes you confident you can prove these evidence?
What makes us confident is the totality of the evidence that has been obtained by the LAPD robbery homicide, by the work that the district attorney's office has done, that has led us
Exactly,
to the point
crime.
where we believe we can prove each and every one of these three charges and the special circumstances and the special allegation beyond a reasonable doubt.
Thank you, everybody. If you raise your hand if you have Spanish language and you need a Spanish language translation. Okay. Keep your hands up. My team will come around to you and we will have somebody guide you. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much.
Isn't there supposed to be a statement from the lawyer?
Has she been missing 2024 or 2025?
Yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing. We don't know how long she's been dead for. That's the problem. That's one thing that they still need to figure out. But don't worry. I thought the family was supposed to be doing a statement. Did we miss that? Okay, guys. Okay. I thought there was going to be a statement from the family, but hold on, because there's a lot going on, and I don't know why my internet was tripping during that mother freaking time. But I do need to play back when they initially came out and spoke, because there was
murder for financial gain.
There is a murder for financial gain. I'm glad that we just heard that from this anchor right here, but. What the hell is going on? Murder for financial gain. What the hell is going on? Right? Hold on. Let me just play this. Let me just play this piece. And then I'm going to play that part again, okay? Because I apologize. I don't know what happened to the internet. The internet just started tripping. for some weird reason. Right when it was getting thicker than a snicker, that's when we're getting this BS. Okay, the trippy internet. Okay, but hold on. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe a flick. Maybe they're making a video because they said disturbing sexual type of stuff.